Hi, this is Alan of ICT Billet. Today we're looking at our universal power steering hose kit, part number 551082. We have a 5-foot section of low pressure hose here, 5-foot section of high pressure hose. Both of these are USA made. All these fittings here are all USA made as well. So we have 3 90-degree hose ends, one straight, an M18 1.5 with O-ring, an M16, there's 2 of these, 1.5 pitch with O-rings as well, an M14 with O-ring, and 11/16 fitting, 2 5/8 fittings, and 1/2 inch. These 4 here are all inverted flare. These are O-rings. So we're going to be installing this power steering kit on our 1985 C10 2-wheel drive non-hydro boost. So we'll be using this M18 fitting here and the M16 for the high pressure line. The M16, the smaller side here, is going to be going in the back of the power steering pump. Then the remaining M16 fitting is going to go to the steering box for the low pressure line. Then the opposite end here is going to be using a spring clamp. So let's go ahead and install these hoses. Now we're going to take our hose ends here. So we'll take a 90-degree fitting here. We're going to go ahead and unthread this end to be able to put our low pressure line on. We're going to put a dab of oil here on the thread and on the end here, make it easier to get it started on the hose. Slide your hose end here over the end of the hose. Just kind of thread it on until you see the hose bottom out up to the threads. Now install your other end. Just thread this down until it's tight. Then go ahead and final tighten all these hose ends once you're done with 2 wrenches. Now take your high pressure line. We're going to do the same process on it. So start the nut over the end. Thread this end down until you see it bottom out up to the threads. Now we're going to install the end onto here. So let's go ahead and put oil on again, dab on the threads and on the end. And go ahead and tighten this all the way down with 2 wrenches. Now we're going to install our power steering fittings here. So we have the O-rings installed. We're going to put a drop of oil on each one of these. I'll thread these in. We're going to tighten these fittings down. Now we're going to install the high pressure line here. And run our hose where we want it. Then we will measure and cut the backside to length and put the other hose end on. Now we're going to install our low pressure hose. We'll run our hose where we want it here. Pull it to the back and measure, cut it to length. We're going to install our spring clamp here. Slide this onto our pump. Next, we're going to install our rear power steering fitting for the high pressure line. Put a drop of oil on the end of this. Install it into the back. We're going to tighten it down. Put the high pressure line here into place. We're going to measure the end and cut it to length. Now we're going to install our hose end. Make this a little easier by putting a couple drops of oil on it. Now install the other end of the hose here. Put a little bit of oil on the end of your hose end. Insert it down to this side. and then tighten it all the way down with 2 wrenches. Now take your high pressure line, go ahead and route it where you want it, and install it here on the back. Now go ahead and tighten this with a wrench. Now our install is done.